As Black people, we should govern our own communities. But when we do, we get Tiffany Henyard. Strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
We've done so much with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything with nothing. Those are the words of Machismo TV. Make sure you go and subscribe. The link should be in the chat room. In fact, it is in the chat room, should be pinned to the top. So if you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded, make sure you go subscribe and check out Machismo TV. We got to get into this. Tiffany Henyard, known as the city girl mayor, known as the city girl mayor. I don't know if it was Pink Book of Lessons or Oshay. I believe it was Pink Book of Lessons who gave her that nickname. It is very appropriate. We kind of talked about it yesterday when I was reviewing a court case where a teacher who had an iron wig that looked like a gust of wind from Chicago would just blow it right off her head. She was a school teacher who was displaying some of the most ratchet behavior ever. And I got to thinking, how is it that we have the view that Black people, when they come from the hood, when they do the work to get out the hood, they get themselves educated, they move into positions, they're school teachers, they become politicians or lawyers or nurses or well, that nurse is suspect. Nurses be some of the biggest thoughts out there. That's one of the most thoughty professions in the world right now. Maybe CNAs are giving them a bad rep. I don't know. But either way, you would think things would be a little different. You know, Black community don't talk about class that much. We all are the same. But even amongst those who make it into a lot of class and get on basically on the main stage, or in the words of Chris Rock at the Million Man March, when Mayor Marion Barry was up there, Chris Rock very jokingly but accurately said, even in our finest hour, we got a crackhead on stage. Well, Tiffany Henyard ain't never smoked no crack bars, we know. But the way she blowing the money in some little bitty small town, just running up the bill, as bad as it get. We're probably going to start there. where the police cars are potentially going to get repoed because she ain't paid the bill. Because they I think the police cars are owned right out, but no, they gotta pay it. They gotta pay their car note too, and the money comes from the state to pay the car note, and she's in charge of that money, and she ain't paying it. But her and her people in Vegas on the taxpayer dime, while the police cars are about to get repossessed. Now the police officers in that small town gonna be pulling up on people on scooters. They're gonna be on horses. That's what it's coming to. Black power, black leadership. That's what it looked like. Or black female leadership. I would almost like to just strictly blame it on them, but Kwame Kilpatrick, Mayor Marion Barry. I mean, it's all over. It's all over. I'm surprised this chick ain't from Atlanta. There's some Atlanta stuff we looking at here. But we're about to get into it. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Ray Benson. He says, fresh from Fantastic Show. Let's get it. Absolutely. Shout out to Fantastic. Graced the show with his presence yesterday. Shout out to M and Perry in the building. Shout out to KC from KC5. I mean, KP from KC5. Shout out to you. Shout out to Brenda. Shout out to Saluddin El Rahim. Shout out to Holding My Nut. Shout out to Tuskuyami. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Mr. Snazzy in the building. Chocolate Bunny. Shout out to you. All right. Let's get into it. She was on Roland Martin. Now, here's the thing about that interview. I'm going to play some of her corruption first before I get into the interview. I want to give y'all the teaser trailer of some of the corruption before I get into that interview. But please know and understand, that interview was more of a left hand talking to the right hand sock puppet, a left hand talking to the right hand sock puppet conversation that you used to see when you were in elementary school or kindergarten or preschool, where it's a contrived conversation with a clear beginning, middle, and end, where it's not really a discussion where one person says something, the other person defends, attack, defend. That's kind of how real discussions go. No, this was an engineered conversation. Black people talk a big game about industry plants and protected people and all of that stuff. No, this is what that looked like. Black people Roland Martin got a million sub platform. I don't know how many views they get, but he's using his platform to run interference for one of the worst kind of black people that made it into a position of power. And he's using his huge black platform to protect this black person who's doing stuff that's mostly having a negative effect on other black people. What am I talking about? Whatsoever am I talking about? Like to hear it. Here it go. Hold on. I'm going to play a clip first that's going to just fill y'all in for those of you that don't know a whole lot about this chick. I didn't know nothing about her. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons and Oshay. They've been covering her. RM just told me in the back that Pink Book Lessons coined the phrase City Girl Mayor. I didn't know what the hell that was for a while. I thought City Girl Mayor was one of the names of one of the actual city girls. I'm like, oh, that's what they calling themselves now? I didn't know, but now I get it. I'm in the loop on the joke now. But all right, here we go. This is just to give y'all a little teaser trailer of the corruption before we get into the left hand talking to the right hand sock puppet interview that Roland Martin just gave her to run interference for the corruption that's taking place by a black woman, and her corruption is affecting mostly black people, but Roland Martin is pro-black and care about black people, do his blackety black news show in a dashiki, but when he see a black person, particularly a black woman, and especially one with a D in front of their name, okay, I gotta be careful, not one with a D in front of them. A D for Democrat in front of their name, he runs interference. That's all to it. I'm going to get into that a little more because Roland Martin is a tough stickler when it comes to pulling out receipts on somebody and asking the tough questions. He didn't do it in that interview. But let me give you out a teaser trailer of her corruption, just so y'all can see a little bit. This is just a little bit. People like Pink Book Lessons and Oshay got like 20 videos on her.
Someone seen you go in there, and then 2 hours after your story airs, that police are at both of these establishments.
More controversy in South suburban Dalton. 2 popular bars shut down by police just hours after the owners talked to Fox 32. A village trustee also says it's because they're not financially supporting Dalton's mayor, Tiffany Henyard.
Here's Dean Plaka with the latest on the corruption investigation.
That is as corrupt as it gets. Let's just make that very clear. It don't get more corrupt than that. The people, businesses, establishments that aren't in the tank for you, they're not supporting your causes and your initiatives. You're doing stuff to disrupt their business. She's using her power to send the police in to shut down. Well, I'll let y'all see what happened. But when y'all listen to this, just imagine if it was a white person doing it to black people. Just imagine the outrage and outcry. And imagine the interview that Roland Martin would give that person.
Is it coincidence or retaliation? Both of the Dalton bars that were raided and shut down last night, we visited the day before as part of our ongoing.
I said this is some Atlanta type stuff that we seeing right here. Some stuff you'll see some Atlanta politicians on, but Chicago probably in second place. I'll give it to Chicago. You know, they hold it down when it come to when it come to people in high places being on some bull. Yeah, Chicago holds it down. I can't, you know. Yeah, got to acknowledge Chicago.
Investigation into allegations of political corruption in Dalton.
They just rushed in here, put police at the front of the door like they was doing a raid on the drug house or something.
A team of Dalton police officers raided and shut down Pablo's Bar and Cafe and Rinky's Bar and Cafe, both located on Sibley, about a block apart.
Everything going peacefully, nothing going on. It's like 10 police cars came in and they start pushing customers from here. And he said, if you don't leave, we're going to lock you up.
Employees and owners say it's...
This sounds like some Jim Crow stuff. This sounds like the white people coming in to to shut down black businesses. God dang. Black people not in power doing the same thing that we complain about other groups doing to us. All right, is that what's happening? Is that what's going on? Are black people getting in the power to doing it to other black people? See, when you really look at it like that, it's like you start to understand that it's not about race; it's about power. That's when you've really thought your way out of, you know, a lot of the schemas and isms and schisms and all that other stuff. You know, you're thinking at a higher level when you start understanding that. That is a fight for power. White people be screwing over other white people all the time. It ain't even about power. Just white people want white power. It's like, no, the individuals want they're fighting for their individual piece, and they're going to step on everybody's neck, including other white people. Like, so that's really what it is. But we're going to look at it through a black paradigm and a black lens, because that's how we do. But let's go.
Part of an ongoing campaign of harassment by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard that is costing jobs and money. Their business licenses have been stripped by Dalton, but they've continued to operate with a state license.
I have like over 23 employees. They work from the local township. Now, end of the day, all the employees, they're going to lose their job.
It's ridiculous. We all have mouths to feed. We all have kids. They're not giving us no explanation.
On Monday, we visited both.
Shutting you down with no explanation. Taking your license with no explanation. That's what it is. That is what she's doing. Because they ain't aligning with her politically. If that ain't some mob boss, mafioso, gangster shit stuff. Algorithm, you didn't hear that. I'm trying to keep this one monetized. All right. Yeah. That's what she on. That's some Joe Pesci pulling up at your business. Hey, this is a nice business you have here. I'd really hate for something to happen to it. You know, you should make good decisions to make sure nothing happens to your business. That's what that is. That's seriously what that is.
Yankees and Pablo's to ask about allegations their licenses were being held up for political reasons. Then last evening, we broke the story that FBI agents have questioned at least a half dozen people, including business owners, a former Dalton employee, and an elected official as part of an investigation into Mayor Henyard. Less than 2 hours after our story aired, police raided the two bars.
Someone seen you go in there. And then 2 hours after your story airs, that police are at both of these establishments.
Dalton trustee Tammy Brown says she believes the raids are meant to send a warning to others not to talk. And she believes there's a reason so many Dalton businesses are having trouble getting their licenses renewed.
I'm sure that they were asked to donate, make a donation, and most likely they didn't make a donation. So you don't get a chance to stay open if you don't pay the Queen's ransom.
Tomorrow evening, there will be a special
Queen's ransom. The Queen. That's the Queen, and you got to kiss the ring. And that's what it is. But all right, let's get into, and hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yeah, Saluddin El Rahim. Run my donations. But she doing it with real power. She ain't Umar getting a $10 donation from somebody and said it should have been 20. Nah. She bigger than that. she ain't gotta say run my donations and make it 20. Nah. She go harder than that because she can. But let me get to the left hand talking to the right hand sock puppet interview that she had with your Uncle Roland Martin. Let me get to that. All right, here we go. Now, this interview is titled Tiffany Henyard Claps Back. Let me make sure I got that right. Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard claps back at critics' claims of corruption. All right. The Roland Martin exclusive interview. So it's already titled in a way that positions her as, I wouldn't say necessary, excuse me. It's already titled in a way that positions her as, I don't want to say necessarily a victim, but as somebody who people are coming at and she's clapping back. When you make a video saying somebody clap back, you're almost like saying they're setting the record straight, Now his comment section killed him, by the way. His comment section let him have it. They criticized him big time, and that happens from time to time when his agenda gets in the way. Like his agenda got in the way when it came to King Randall. When his agenda, when he's talking to somebody who they could be, they're black and Republican or conservative, or if they're just not, if they don't even got to be a Republican, if they're just not completely with the establishment when it comes to Democrats, he goes hard on them. But yeah, the comment section let him have it. But let me get into the video. Let me not hold y'all no longer on this. Let's get into it.
Lines. You've had news outlets from all around the country writing about her, talking about her, and which is sort of rare when you are the mayor of a small town in Chicago. Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Notice
the language, and that's rare when you're from such a small town in Chicago. Or what do you say? Let me make sure I got it. Hold on.
Sort of rare when you are the mayor of a small town in Chicago.
All right. Thought I said the name wrong. But anyway, he's saying that he's setting it up that it's rare. Like it's not rare because of the corruption, because of the money being stolen, the money not being spent. We're going to get into like a fake foundation that's not properly registered, so they don't have to show what they're doing with the money. Then we're going to get into her lying about not being associated to the foundation that her name is under and that her people work. It's so much stuff that she's doing.
Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. And there have been all sorts of stories written, folks talking about what she wears, talking about her conduct, allegations about spending.
No, people only talk about what she wear in the context that she went to a meeting dressed up like Nino Brown. Now, there's a time and place for a joke, but when you're accused of that kind of corruption, that joke was in poor taste. If a politician is doing their job and doing it right, I don't mind them doing things to make little jokes, but so that, I'm not even going to trip that much about that. It was just stupid for her to do it, because seeing as she's the person who literally gets, who got businesses shut down, got their business license removed without even giving a proper reason, got the feds investigating you. You running this town like you Nino and G Money just took over the Carter. It's like, yeah. And then you're gonna do that. Then you're gonna do that skit. No, it ain't funny. It ain't funny when you actually run in a little town like Nino and like Nino Brown. That made it not funny.
You name it. There's been lots of drama, if you will. She joins us right now. I'm glad to have you here in studio. And so, first off, so there are a couple of things. You're the mayor of Dalton, and then also there's a township. So explain to folks the difference between those two and what your jobs are.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you allowing me a platform to speak my truth. I'm the mayor of Dalton. I got elected in.
Whenever, y'all already know the rules on this. Y'all ain't new to this. Whenever you hear a woman, particularly a black woman, uttering that phrase, type it in the chat room. Y'all know what I'm about to say. There you go. John got to it first. My truth. Whenever you hear my truth come out of their mouth, you know you about to hear some bull. It ain't too many ways around that. You know you are hearing some, grade A premium BS when you hear my truth. You already know it. You absolutely 100% know it. So the fact that she's already speaking the language of the sisterhood, that should automatically tell you a thing or two. That should automatically tell you a thing or two. She already speaking the language of the sisterhood. Yeah, KP from KC5, my truth, aka my lies. This is my story and I'm sticking to it. My truth means I'm giving y'all my opinion with a lot of confidence. I'm giving y'all my story and I'm saying it with passion. That's what my truth is.
2021, becoming the first female mayor of Dalton and the youngest. And then I got appointed to supervisor a year later. So a mayor, we are all about services. So cut trees down, sidewalks, things of that nature. Supervisor is strictly resources. So help pay your light bill, gas bill, water bill. I even help bury your loved ones. I pay mortgage, I pay rent. It's a resource center. So
okay,
that's the difference.
So Dalton is a town about 20,000. How large is the township? Township covers what?
I cover 190,000 residents. Okay. I'm over 17 towns.
Okay, so yes. And
so just to be clear, I think her supervisor job, that might be a bigger one that covers more stuff, and then the mayor job is a smaller one where I think she covered 20,000 people, but overall she likes doing some supervisor. It's like she got two different positions, which is weird. And in some kind of way, she make $225,000 a year. That's more than people working high up in government. So I don't know how she finessed and finagled that to where she's making more money than any mayor that I know of that I've ever seen. But she finessing the game in many different ways. But that may be a legal finesse, the way she getting all that money that she getting right there. We're going to get into the illegal finessing that's going on, but let's go.
And for the township, are those elected positions or appointed positions?
Yes, it's elected. My predecessor passed away, and I was appointed to his seat, therefore taking the rest of his term.
Okay. And for the different jobs, so Dalton pays you what as mayor? Township pays you what?
Sure. So my mayor position is $50,000, which was already there. And my township position is 224, which was already there. When I got sworn into either seat, it came with the salary, which everybody prior to me received.
Now, are both of those deemed full-time jobs?
Well, no, part-time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's first deal with Dalton. So
Sure.
Your critics say that you have a significant security detail. First of all, how large is your police department in Dalton, and what is your security detail?
So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature. But what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with the seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
How many officers is it?
How many officers is what?
On security detail.
I'm not gonna say how many due to the threats on my life. So,
but if it's in your CBA,
it is in my CBA. I'm not doing anything wrong. I even went to court due to the fact of people suing me saying I cannot have a security detail, and I won. The judge said I can't have a security detail because it's already in a CBA.
Now, what's going on there is that it's not that anybody is suing her saying that she can't have a security detail. Like mayors, like they can have security. That's in there. What she gets sued for is the misuse or overuse of it. And that's why when he asked her how many, she declined to answer that question because she's using it for her own, so she can walk in the room like Nino Brown. That's what she's overusing it for, and then misappropriating the funds in other ways to where the literal police car, the vehicles that the police drive in to do their job, the note ain't even paid. Like they're behind on their car note on the police cars. They're potentially going to get repossessed. And we're going to show later on how while that was behind, city money or town money or township taxpayer dollars were literally spent on a trip to Vegas while the car note for the police cars is not being paid. Like, that's the type of stuff that's going on here. And Roland Martin is giving her a friendly interview, softball questions to help try to clean up her name, but the stuff is all over. It's all over the place.
And so that's one of the issues there. You have other trustees who suggested that the city is in a deficit. What is the state of the city's finances?
So we are in a deficit, but it's not what everybody's claiming it to be. They're going around with false allegations of 5 million, 7 million, 8 million. It's all false. Our deficit is $2 million. $2
million.
$2 million.
And what's your annual budget?
Our annual budget is $30 million.
$3 million? $30 million.
Yep.
And so what led to that deficit?
So it comes from them not paying bills. So say, for instance, we have a board meeting and they say, well, we're going to pull this out, pull that out. If they continue to pull bills out later on, what do you have? A deficit, because the bills still due. Just like us not paying our mortgage or not paying our light bill. We still owe the money at the end of the month.
When you say they, who's they?
The trustees, the board, because the board is the one that votes to pay the bills.
So so you have two types of government out there. You got strong mayor, city council, then you have city manager form of government. So mayor and the trustees control the city's finances.
Well, yes, when it comes to the budget, just the budget.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So in terms of who's deciding to pay the bills, so this deficit that you have, you're saying that's a result of the trustees not paying the city's bills?
Correct.
But do you have the resources?
Yes.
To pay the bills?
Yes.
So how's there a deficit?
Because they won't pay the bills. So it's still on our books. Until we release the check and pay the bill, we still count it as a deficit.
So you're saying, so you have the money to pay the bills.
Correct.
You're saying your fellow trustees won't pay the bills.
Correct.
Why?
I give you prime example, just to make me look bad. I give you prime example. My job is to govern. That's what a mayor does. I'm an executive branch, they're the legislative branch. When I go get money and bring back to our community, many grants, they refuse to pay things for residents. I created a roof and window program. They would not vote to pay the vendors to fix the roof and windows for our seniors and our veterans. Why? The money's there, it's in a bank account, you can see it. Why would they not pay the bill? So therefore, that program got on hold. These are things I created when I became the mayor of Dalton.
Okay. Now, what y'all here are doing there is coming up with ways to ultimately deflect it on to somebody else. That's ultimately what she's doing. That's pretty much the game plan there. Now she's doing that with your Uncle Roro when all of this stuff is out there. All of this stuff is out there. Give me a second. Here we go. All of this stuff is out there, and everybody knows this. And if everybody knows it, we know Roland Martin know it, because Roland Martin, whether you like him or not, he's very thorough when he's investigating somebody. He's very thorough. He does his research. He will interrogate the hell out of somebody. Sometimes he would not even be 100% in the right, but he will run such a fine-tooth comb through somebody's story or record and information, and will go dumpster diving for whatever he can to find whatever he can on this person. He's not doing that here. Like, I mean, the simplest, you type in her name into the search engine on YouTube brings up stuff like this that more or less refutes what she's saying.
Turmoil in South Suburban Dalton after a bank says the village failed to make a massive payment.
Yeah, the threat now, tow trucks could be arriving soon to repossess some village vehicles. And WGN's Courtney Spinelli is joining us live from Dalton with the latest. Courtney?
Micah and Ray, some of those vehicles being threatened with repossession include Village of Dalton police cruisers and accessories that the village financed back in 2019, much like the one right behind me. Tonight, some Village of Dalton trustees and their legislative council are calling for answers and accountability.
There's no accountability.
In yet another shock to Village of Dalton.
Real quick, Stacker Starve in the building. Came through on the Cash App end. Do appreciate that. Just caught that. Going forward, I'll never forget the Cash Apps again. Even though I got them, I've been getting them lately, but sometimes I make that mistake. But shout out to Stacker Starve. Came through on the Cash App end. Do appreciate it. Shout out to everybody for supporting the stream. All right. Oh, let me look up. $10. It was $10. $10 Cash App. $10 Cash App.
Everything you want.
All right, let's go.
Dalton trustees, a letter falling on their desks dated February 14th. Representatives from Kansas State Bank threatening to repossess 13 village vehicles, saying more than $76,000 is overdue and climbing.
The Board of Trustees approved payment in May of 2023.
But where that loan payment went that was due 9 months ago is anyone's guess.
Keep in mind, she just said the trustees will not pay it. They will not release the money. The money is not there. They just showing it's literally receipts all over the news. All right, receipts all over the news where they're literally showing the documentation, showing and proving that yes, the trustees released the money. They approved it. All it takes is a signature from the mayor. From the HNIC. That's all it takes for the funds for the bills to get paid. That's easy, right? That should be easy, but no. But she's on your Uncle Roro show, blaming them for not releasing the money, even though the evidence and documentation is all over that they approved it. Charles Merchant in the building with a $10 super chat. Says, imagine that, a job where she can create programs, but having no responsibility to pay for them. Oh yeah, well that's wait till we start talking about her charity, her cancer charity. Wait till we start talking about that. Like, I mean, listen, we always say black people, we need to govern ourselves, need to be policing ourselves, need to be doing this ourselves, do it ourselves. But look at the people that we put in power. You know, people make a big deal about that electoral vote but the electoral vote is there because the powers to be don't trust the people to put the right person in power. I think black people, we need to establish some electoral votes in predominantly black towns and cities. We need to establish some type of electoral vote. So when black people vote somebody like this, it's like, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's like, but that's not American. That's taking it out the hands of the people. The people are bad, make really bad judgments. But Charles Merchant says, imagine that. A job where she can create programs but having no responsibility to pay for them, passing the buck to someone else. Now that's queen behavior. Absolutely. Absolutely. She being a victim queen all day.
Everything you want.
She a boss chick queen, power tripping victim. Yeah, that's what's going on. I couldn't even find a montage of her cutting up. Like, if y'all think she talking ghetto in the interview with Roland Martin, y'all catch her in some of them little meetings when they going back and forth. Oh yeah, all the neck rolling and I'm the mayor. I'm the one. She be sounding like Mia X and shit. Like I'm trying not to cuss. But yeah, let's go. Let's watch the rest of this. Let's watch this. They're talking about the cars being repossessed.
Lawyers for the bank now warning the village.
Police cruisers being repossessed.
Approved payment in May of 2023.
But where that loan payment went that was due 9 months ago is anyone's guess. Lawyers for the bank now warning the village, pay up or be ready for repossession agents to take the vehicles, which include 6 police cruisers.
Well, the consequences initially are life-threatening.
A fear for public safety if means to respond to calls and emergencies is hindered. 7 other vehicles also facing repossession include 6 public works cars.
She can blame whoever she wants, but the board did their job back in May and authorized payment. She's blocking payment.
Legislative counsel for the Board of Trustees, Bert Odelson, is talking about Dalton's self-proclaimed super mayor, Tiffany Henyard.
None of them do the things that we do here.
As unpaid bills by the village have come to light, WGN Investigates has uncovered exorbitant spending on lavish trips.
Want to know what's funny? Aside from the fact that she got some big Bug's Life eyes. But anyway, aside from that, I just looked up and noticed that. But here's the thing. I think she's like 37 years old. And I got to thinking that, when they be on that hood, like to me, it just seemed like when I was 18, when I was 20, the people that was nearly 20 years older than me, they looked grown and acted growner. But it's like, why? It's like it was some ratchet ones that you saw with walking around with long blonde weave back then that was grown and almost 40. But it wasn't the ones in high up positions. They didn't look like that. It's like they looked older. It's like I just can't explain it. How it's like it's idiocracy. It's just Arrested Development. 40-year-olds in position don't act like 40-year-olds in position no more. Like they seemed, I don't know, they seemed grown. Like these people be in these positions, they really no different from 20-year-olds. It's like, that's crazy.
Unpaid bills by the village have come to light. WGN Investigates has uncovered exorbitant spending on lavish trips and experiences by Henyard and her allies.
Like, think about that. Think about when you was 20 and your mama was 40. Did your mama look, act, and talk like that? Well, I know some people, the answer is yes. My mama didn't look, walk, talk, and act ghetto. I mean, maybe she did, but she ain't let me see it. She for damn sure wouldn't be out in public with it. At least nothing that I ever observed all the way up into my young adulthood. I just never saw it. But they be looking, walking, talking, and acting like no different from random chick at the club or some Section 8 chick, living in low income housing. It's just crazy to me. But they be in position, running small parts of the country. It's hard to wrap your mind around that one.
Including a trip to Vegas that cost more than $12,000 the same month the loan payment was due.
I have never, ever seen the abuse that this mayor is.
Good point. RM just said in the back chat, I was going to take credit for it, but I'll give you credit. I was going to pretend like I came up with it. She said they looked like Claire Huxtable and purported themselves that way. When we was watching Claire Huxtable on the Cosby Show, yes, that was a woman in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. It's like, no, it's like they be looking and acting like kids.
is laying on the feet of her citizens, ever.
Village of Dalton trustees going head to head with Henyard at meetings, calling for transparency so residents know where taxpayer dollars are going.
We need receipts to understand what's going on.
They're in charge of overseeing finances, but say the mayor has restricted them from access to those, leaving them mostly in the dark. On top of that, several trustees telling WGN Thursday they're now hearing from vendors that say they were hired for work and never paid, more expenses the board was not aware of.
They have no idea what she's doing with the money.
And no clear answer whether agents will start taking village vehicles as collateral for the unpaid bill. WGN reached out to a contact in the letter to the village who declined to comment.
They're coming. It's just a matter of time.
All right.
Now he went by the.
Now, before we get back to the interview, I would be remiss if I didn't play this instant classic right here. I would be remiss if I didn't play this instant classic. We're talking about what you're doing with the money. Like to hear it go. Like to hear it go. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Where we at?
Hold
All right.
up.
Here we go.
While presiding over public meetings, as we learned in November. That's when we reported Thornton Township taxpayers spent thousands of dollars on a trip to Las Vegas, where a shopping center conference was underway. Henyard and her allies spent thousands on everything from steak dinners to hotels and what appeared to be first-class airfare.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
Mm,
What is that?
no comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Actually, we have
And keep in mind, the timeline of them being in Vegas making it rain is also in the same timeline that the police cruisers are behind on the car note, potentially about to get repossessed. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Like there's not a bigger, stronger, caught in a lie face that I've ever seen. Oh man. Let's get back into this interview where she's giving her truth. Uncle Roro gave her platform to speak her truth. Let's hear her truth out.
Yet people don't see your vision. It's people trying to take over government, and I won't allow it.
You the one trying to take over government.
Do it prior to the other mayor having it. Why did nobody do any of the things they doing to me?
So when all of this began, this not paying of the city's bills?
So it's funny you asked that question. That's a great question. All this turmoil started right when I became mayor. So that showed me right.
I always feel like somebody, there goes, I'm saying I feel like, but no, to me, it always seemed like that somebody is lying whenever they, that's a great question. That always just feels like a lie to me.
In there that the plot was to remove me from office right in the beginning. I wasn't even in office for a good month before my board started to sit here and start to try to remove me from my seat that I earned and won by 82%. Reminds you, 82%, taking out an incumbent that had the seat prior to me.
So when your fellow trustees, let's say Kiana Belcher, she's quoted as saying mismanagement of funds. You're saying, no, it's not mismanagement. They're just not paying bills.
That's correct.
And so when you hear that from her, then what's the response? And if that's the case, have you released publicly the list of bills that they don't pay?
Yes.
And where's that?
So that is normally on my website. or it is on my social media platform. And I verbally said at board meetings, you can see it when they go and they take out bills, they verbally tell you what they're taking out.
I got a lot of videos and clips I'm gonna show. I'm not 100% sure if I have the one where they were in the meeting arguing with her, telling her that she needs to, that she's hiding stuff, that she's not, the people that she's accusing of not paying stuff, there's a meeting where they're getting on her and getting at her about you're not being transparent about what you're doing. We need to be able to see it, because they, because she's the person who pulls the final trigger on it, they don't get to see what happens to it or where it goes. Almost like one person approves it, and then this person has to, pull the final trigger on it. It's almost like one person releases the money, gives the money, the other person pays for it. The person who pays for it should bring the receipt back to the person that released it to say, hey, look, I paid for it. They're not seeing the receipt back, so they don't know that it's getting paid. They just know how much is in the budget and what they can release or approve, but they don't get to see it being paid for. That's kind of what goes on, but they should be able to see it being paid for, but she's in position to make it to where they can't see it or to control whether or not they see it, and which puts her now in position to say they never did their part of releasing the money. But like I just showed, how the news just showed, that the people on the other end have shown that, no, we did our part. If it didn't get paid, it's on her, but she's blaming them.
Therefore, people can just add it up in the council meeting. So you can know and you can follow exactly what bills they're not paying. And it adds up. Eventually you get to $1 million, then $2 million. And then also they have legal bills of $2 million of suing me for different reasons, like what you're saying to you.
Who sued you?
The trustees. They take me to court.
RM is checking her website right now and is reporting back that there is no evidence. She says, I just checked, I don't see any of the bills on her website. That's why she said it's usually on my website. I heard that, but I wasn't 100% sure what to make of that comment when she said it's usually on my website. Usually on my website more or less means that was her way of saying it might not be there right now. You go look right now, it's not there, but it's usually there. It's like she's saying things, everything she says, she gives herself an out with it.
Court for anything they say, right? Then we go to court and I won. I won over 24 cases. Yesterday I just got word I won another case. So I'm 25-0 for cases. Yesterday I just got word I won another case. So I'm 25-0. So how is it possibly the mayor?
25-0. She talking shit. You talking junk like an athlete. 25-0. She talking about that stuff like that's Floyd Mayweather boxing record. Now, I got a video coming up where somebody debunks that whole thing about her being 25-0. TBE, the best ever. She 25-0.
Dalton, people got to pause and think like, dang, she keep winning. If she keep winning, we got to look at the trustees. They're the ones that's spending the money on legal bills. Their attorney.
And can't acknowledge Pink Book of Lessons. Hold on, wait, what is it? We call it Baby Bimbo Babble. Okay, that's a play on Minister Japp's bitch babble, but all right, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. But we're gonna acknowledge the originator, just like I acknowledge her for coming up with the phrase "city girl mayor." She can't put a spin on Minister Japp's term, and it's bitch babble. She made it clean though. Pink Book Lessons made it clean. Yeah, but she appropriated Minister Japp's slogan and made it clean. But it's all good.
Which is legislative council. No, for
so
what?
You're saying that the trustees are not paying bills.
Correct.
In addition, by them constantly suing you, they're now piling up legal bills. Correct. And that is what's also contributing to the deficit of the
That's correct. And then we also had contracts that was needed to be negotiated when I came in office for police, for fire, and for public works. So once we negotiate some of those contracts, of course, that adds to the deficit because now you got to increase people pay. And we've done that. You got retro pay, you got all kinds of things that take into account. But what they're not telling you is what I'm telling you here. People got to state facts for people things because now you got to increase people pay. Once we in office,
this is going to be police. Hold on, wait. This is going to be important for later. What she's saying right here. Hold on.
contracts that was needed to be negotiated when I came in office for police, for fire, and for public works. So once we negotiate some of those contracts, of course that adds to the deficit because now you got to increase people pay. And we've done that. You got retro pay, you got all kinds of things that take
Okay, so she said when he came in there, they had contracts and that's been negotiated and people doing work and you got to increase people's pay. Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Actually, I think I'm rolling right up on the part of that, but she just put her foot in her mouth right there for something later in the video. But I think I'm pretty close to the part where she's talking about all the reasons why you have to increase people's pay. There was a certain person whose pay that she wasn't willing to do, that she wouldn't be willing to increase. In fact, she did a lot of work to bend over backwards to decrease somebody's pay. But we're gonna get into that. I just want to let her say it first.
Into account. But what they're not telling you is what I'm telling you here. People got to state facts so people understand. Right now, just throw this out there, throw that out there, and no facts to back it up.
What I'm trying to understand is this is not a large city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I spent 6 years in Chicago, and so whether you're talking about Dalton, Harvey, we're not talking about large cities.
Right.
There's a whole lot of drama for a town of 20,000 people.
I agree. But it's led by one person.
Who?
Their legislative council. He want to take me out of my seat.
Who is that?
That is
Kareem Akbar. That's what she just did. If you know New Jack City, you get the reference. When Nino Brown was on the witness stand and he tried to put it on Kareem Akbar, the educated brother from the bank. That's what she just did.
And so whether you're talking about Dalton, Harvey, we're not talking about large cities.
Right.
There's a whole lot of drama for a town of 20,000 people.
I agree. But it's led by one person.
Who?
Their legislative council. He want to take me out of my seat.
Who is that?
That is Bert Oderson.
So you think
Bert Oderson? That's the Kareem Akbar that she blaming it all on.
All of this is because he wants to beat you.
Yes, he wants the position of corporate counsel.
Explain that.
Corporate counsel is the one that run the day-to-day for a village. They're the one that sit next to the mayor at the board meetings, and they basically have all the lawsuits. So anybody that sues our village, he will be the person that go and defend it. So it's all about contracts. It's all about a power grab. That's all it is.
So is he a fellow? He's a trustee?
No. He's the trustees legislative council. So they use him to fight against me. So I'll give you another example. They just had a secret squirrel meeting. What I mean by secret squirrel meeting, an illegal meeting they had at our park district. When they had our park district,
When you say it's a legal meeting, why are you calling it a legal meeting?
Because they cannot go and have a quorum. That's the open meeting violation of 4 people.
RM, if you can find it and drop it in the private chat for me, it was a meeting that she had because I don't know by what standard she calling this meeting illegal. I saw a video, but I don't got it queued up, ready to go. It was a meeting that she had that the people, the townspeople and everybody else, supposed to be open to the public. They had it at a certain building. She told everybody it was downstairs. Her and her people went upstairs, had the meeting real quick in 4 minutes, and left about the front door. And left about the back door. And by the time everybody figured out that the meeting was upstairs, they went upstairs. It was already over in like 4 minutes. Like, she be doing stuff like that. Now, I don't know the context of somebody else's illegal meeting, and I don't know if it's an exact law in place saying that she can't do that, what I just described. There's a video out there that shows that she did it. I don't know if it's a law in place saying she can't do that, but it sounds pretty illegal. Whatever an illegal meeting is, it sounds like she executed her own. If you can find that video, go ahead and go drop that in the private chat.
They do that every time. So now they're trying to have their own separate government. When we have board meetings, it's the first of every month.
Yeah, first of all, official board meetings have to be posted.
Correct.
Have you filed any complaints with the state attorney general?
Yes.
Saying they are meeting illegally?
Yes. So we working on that, meaning we posted it and we filed it. So now we're just waiting on a response for that. So once we get the response, we will share with the public. But you can't sit here and have your own separate government. We either gonna get along or we're not. But we're not gonna get along. You wait till election time, and therefore you run against me. That's how this go. But yet you put all this negativity in our village, putting everybody in danger, and I don't appreciate that.
When you say putting everyone in danger, how so?
Like, you have people that come out from New York, people that come from all over and fly into our town just to get stories and follow us around. And then they go in our village halls, harass our residents, harass our staff. So it's become more than what people are seeing.
So you're saying, so because of the attacks on you, you had stories in the New York Post, Fox News, other places, and you're saying all of that has.
See, this is where he get into the right hand talking to the left hand sock puppet conversation. Y'all can kind of hear where he's reiterating what she's saying to stack up bowling pins for her to knock down again. This is a buddy run interference interview here.
You had stories in the New York Post, Fox News, other places, and you're saying all of that has contributed to these attacks directly on you and residents.
Correct.
You've been talk about the threats that you had to deal with.
Oh, wow. Tons of threats. It's in emails, in text form, it's on voicemail. People come to our village and threaten us. People have been arrested for coming and threatening us. It's all types of things it's a record of that warrants why we need security. And it said, because people got to understand, I am a single Black parent with a daughter, 4-year-old, that go in and out of my house. You got people pulling up, taking pictures.
Nobody's shocked about that she's a single parent. Nobody's shocked about that. Keep in mind, I played the clip earlier where she used police goons. She used the police as goons. I don't want to just call them goons, but they had to play the role of goons because I guess they had to listen to her. I guess the chain of command or something like that, where she sent them in there after some people did interviews. Some business owners did interviews talking about her. She sent the people in there, police in there, basically shut down their business, made everything leave, did some stuff to basically strip their business license. They're still able to practice, but she's doing stuff to limit them in ways that she can. Basically an intimidation tactic because they spoke bad about her and they didn't donate to something that she was trying to get donations for. So, I mean, that's why when she's talking about that, it's like, nah, you sound like the bully abusing power while you're trying to also sound like the victim. It's like it's not floating.
I am a single Black parent with a daughter, 4-year-old, that go in and out of my house. You got people pulling up, taking pictures. You even got that trustee, that Kiana Belcher, came to my house, took pictures of my house, and then spread it out, gave it to everybody, causing me and my family to be in much danger. And these are the things we reported, we talk about, we tell people. It's just a vindictive against me, and I don't appreciate it at all. Just don't.
When you look at how you're being framed, you are being called crazy, deranged, saying that you are stealing funds. You also you have a charity that from the Attorney General's office has, I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not.
Oh, let me back that up. This is important. This is important. I should have got this specifically timestamped, but we right into the good part now.
I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not.
You have a Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation.
When you said, I guarantee that she paid RM for this interview, you met Roland Martin. When you said RM, first thing popped in my head is my moderator RM. I'm like, what RM? Anyway, thank you for putting 5 on it. I don't think she had to pay him. Like I said, right hand talking to the left hand sock puppet interview. I don't think she had to pay. I think he's in the camp. I think that there's something what you're going to see when black people building their own media platform. Like, I do give Roland Martin credit. It do look like a very professional news show. I mean, it looked like, you see Good Times characters and all kind of stuff, down there at the bottom, it's some, so, I mean, you don't see that on the regular news, but I mean, it do look like a professional news show. So, I give him credit for that. And it's got over 1 million subs. So I acknowledge the black media aspect of it, and then that's pretty cool. But here's the deal. When black people build their own media, and independent media, internet media is getting bigger than mainstream news media. When it gets like that, all right? When it gets like that, where black people can build their own stuff. You saw Club Shay Shay just is getting up there in Joe Rogan territory. When black people build their own stuff, that comes with power, because here he is with a big media platform. It ain't as big as it can be. It could be. It could very well be the biggest media outlet, one of the biggest in the country. or the world. I mean, it's World Wide Web. It could be, possibly. It could get there someday. Never know. When he uses that, what is he going to use it for? Who is he going to give friendly interviews for, and who is he going to give critical steamrolling interviews for? He's going to give the friendly interviews to other black people who politically align with him. Is she a black woman that politically aligns with him? The answer to that is yes. So for that reason, I don't think she had to pay him. I don't think so. I think that it's just the natural progression. Just like black people accuse white people of having, of manipulating things in the media. When black people get in high government positions and all of that, which they are, when black people build their own independent media that can get just as big as all the other media, which we have, which black people have, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see them using their power to influence narratives, to influence votes, to influence the people, to bend the will, the minds of the people, to inception them to whatever ideas that they think are best. So that's where he's at. I don't think she got to pay. I don't think you got to pay Roland Martin to protect a black woman with a D for Democrat in front of her name that's in a political position of power. No, that's what he's on. That's what he's on, and that's what he's going to be on. That just is what it is. But shout out to our Jizzle. Says shout out to you, saying he paid, but nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But all right. Where were we? Something was being said.
So the Attorney General's office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation in your care?
Oh yeah,
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, the Attorney General, I understand they sent a cease and desist
letter.
Foundation.
They're getting into the foundation. They're talking about how it was a cease and desist letter for the foundation. That's very important. That's very important. But just to make sure y'all know I ain't capping. On the other point I made, how she did a private secret meeting that was supposed to be open to the public, but lied and told everybody it was somewhere else, and they did the meeting real quick in 4 minutes before everybody could figure out where it was at. Let me pull that one up right now. Let me get that one up right now. As soon as I locate it. Where the hell is it? What did I do with it? All right. There's a controversy over residents reportedly being shut out. There we go. Found it. Here we go. Gotta make sure y'all know I ain't capping. Every claim that I make, I want to show it. I want to show and prove it. Every claim that I make here. So here we go.
Guard won't let me up. He just stands at the bottom of the stairs like this.
All right, hold on. Here we go.
What happened when you tried to go upstairs to the board meeting?
The security guard won't let me up. He just stands at the bottom of the stairs like this.
Politicians don't always like to hear from the public, but some South Suburban residents say controversial supervisor and mayor Tiffany Henyard has gone too far.
Yeah, they say she took extraordinary, potentially illegal measures to prevent them from speaking at a public meeting.
Wait, hold on.
Illegal.
This is an inside joke here, because somebody who frequents my channel and moderator likes to do that little heart gesture right there, but does a terrible job at it. But this heartless, soulless creature can make a perfect heart, but somebody, Jackie Jack, cannot manage to position her hands in the shape of a heart. But anyway, just an observation on the fly. If you know, you know. You'd have to been around back when she was on the live stream. Inside joke for those that don't know. But all right, back to it. Yep, Brenda remember. All right, let's go. Had to get an inside joke in for the people that've been here longer.
Measures to prevent them from speaking at a public meting.
It's one of those you have to be there jokes. It's like her little bitty hobbit fingers couldn't quite make a heart. It was weird. But all right.
There's more.
The sign outside its headquarters says, "Welcome to Thornton Township, people working with people." But when residents showed up last night to speak at a public board meeting, they got anything but a warm welcome.
When I arrived, there was security here. He was standing at the bottom of the stairs, preventing anybody from going up to the boardroom. I asked him if the meeting was downstairs. He replied yes.
Stephanie Wiedemann and a handful of other residents wanted to speak directly to Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, also the mayor of Dalton, who's generated controversy for spending hundreds of thousands of tax dollars on trips, police security, billboards, and her own personal charity.
I'm just curious to see who makes the decisions about how our tax dollars are being spent.
But they never got that chance. After being blocked from going to the boardroom upstairs, they were sent to the basement where they were told the township board meeting would be held. It wasn't. They asked for a sign-up sheet for public comment, never got it. And before they knew what had happened, the 4-minute meeting upstairs was over, and Henyard was gone, without hearing from her constituents.
They are violating our rights. I pay taxes here. I have a right to get up and speak whether this administration likes it or not.
And not only were the residents
shut
out, I have a right to get up and speak whether this
You don't got
administration
a
likes it or not.
you don't got a right to speak. Go to the back of the bus, white woman. It's a black woman in charge. Hell, you thought this was?
Taxes here. I have a right to get up and speak whether this administration likes it or not.
And not only were the residents shut out, so was a local newspaper reporter who came here to cover the meeting.
I was told by a security guard that I was not allowed upstairs where the boardroom meeting is.
Josh Bootsma of the Lansing Journal.
It's funny hearing a black person in power and white people complaining about their rights being violated. I was not allowed to make it into the meeting to speak, and I just, okay, I shouldn't be laughing, but it is something funny about it.
Paper reporter who
the amount of outrage that black people have when they get hit with stuff like this. All of the stuff she was doing. Now, keep in mind, I did point out that a lot of the stuff that she's doing it to black people. But it does. It's a certain type of irony, on many different levels. It's a lot of irony on many different levels because black people don't even realize where we're at right now. They're still fighting the old war. But yeah, you can literally get in a position of power and put your thumb on all the scales. That's what she's doing. She's doing the thing that they accuse white people of doing. When you take that and put it into perspective, it's like you kind of understand the internal logic as to why Roland Martin is running interference for her. That's really low key what would be going on in these situations. It's a power game. They don't care about fair. They don't care about what's right. So yeah, we gonna lie. We gonna lie and hold secret 4-minute meetings and tell y'all the meeting is downstairs when it's upstairs and close out the meeting and sign whatever we got to sign without y'all giving y'all opinion. Yeah, that's what they doing.
Who came here to cover the meeting.
I was told by a security guard that I was not allowed upstairs where the boardroom meeting is.
Josh Bootsma of the Lansing Journal says residents deserve to know how elected officials are spending their money.
Thornton Township is the largest township in Illinois. And so there are a lot of people that are affected by the financial decisions that this township makes.
Even Thornton Township trustee Chris Gonzalez, a frequent Henyard critic, was ordered out of the boardroom until the meeting began.
Do you think any laws were broken last night by the way they handled the public?
Well, definitely. I mean, if somebody wants to speak, it's a public meeting, it's a public building. They should be able to come in.
That's a trustee. That's somebody who's supposed to be there that she didn't allow in there. Basically, she's basically if you're not kissing the ring, then yeah, I'm going to figure out a way to exclude you up out of this thing. But all right, let's get back to the interview because it's getting to the really important part here. Let's get to it.
To your foundation?
I don't know nothing.
You also you have a charity that
all right, so you have a charity. Y'all about to hear one of the biggest lies.
are stealing funds. You also you have a charity that from the Attorney General's office is I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not
You have a
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's office has
I'm crazy. I'm not
you have a
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's
It's a charity called Tiffany Henyard Cares. That's her name, Tiffany Henyard, called Tiffany Henyard Cares. Yeah, I just saw that clip that I just played where it was like the foundation, the charity was doing a walk for cancer, and she looked like she was out there doing the Cabbage Patch or something with the Tiffany Henyard Cares shirt on. She's saying she ain't got nothing to do with the foundation, but all right.
office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation?
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now I'm considered what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
Don't have a. You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not, and that's why I tell everybody go do your research. I'm not on anything.
So when we see all of this back and forth, when we see this going back and forth, have you? And I've seen this happen before with school districts. I've seen this happen before with city councils. Have you called in the state to come mediate?
Did I call in the state?
Have you called? Have you reached out to the state to come in and mediate what's going on here? So I've seen school boards where you have lots of drama, and Texas Education Agency, comes in and deals with that. You're having these issues there. Have you reached out to state lawmakers? Have you reached out to state representatives, senators to say, hey, how can we resolve these issues? Because if they're not paying bills, if legal fees are piling up, that's just more taxpayer money being spent.
Correct. And yes, we have. So maybe 2 people might have reached out to us in the beginning. We was doing kumbaya. We was having meetings.
All right. He skipped past asking her about the foundation. He just let her just basically just throw that out there that she don't have a foundation. They're going to talk about it later in the show. I thought they was about to talk about it there. Somebody must have gotten his ear and let him know that, like, dude, you're bullying. You're BSing. You're doing too softball of an interview is going to be obvious. So right now, allow me to prove that that is her foundation. Let me go ahead and prove that. Where is it at? Sorry, I don't got all my stuff in pocket. Hold on. Okay. Suburban politicians, cancer charity. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, so she got a cancer charity. Let me pull that up. My bad. I'm normally quicker with the trigger with this, but I'm a little slow today. I didn't load it into the StreamYard, but all right.
WGN Investigates has learned a suburban politician's charity has attracted the attention of the Illinois Attorney General after failing to file financial documents. We've reported on Tiffany Henyard before. She holds 2 elected positions, Dalton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor. She also prides herself on raising money for cancer patients.
But as investigative reporter Ben Bradley reports, she's now facing penalties for not reporting how she spent the money.
Tiffany Henyard.
All right, charities have to be registered. Just real quick, charities have to be registered, and they have to formally report what they're doing with the money. Even within the money that they make, there is a percentage that they can use to pay people or to just have in the bank of the charity for future things. Like you can do that. You just gotta be transparent about what you're doing with it. But they're not reporting what they're doing with anything. That's why she's lying, saying it's not her charity.
Collected $287,000 back in 2022 from her 2 elected positions. That's the same year she founded a charity in her name, a charity that has received considerable tax dollars but hasn't filed basic records with the Illinois Attorney General or the IRS that would show how cancer patients have actually benefited.
I want people to know that I'm caring.
Tiffany Henyard told me in November she cares. Apparently so much so, it's also the name of her charity. Check it out. The Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation posts videos highlighting walks and other events that prominently feature the politician proudly promoting her cancer.
Now, keep in mind, she's saying this is not her charity. It's called Tiffany Henyard Charity. She's at every event, in front of everything. She's all in it. She's saying that this ain't hers.
Your charity.
I just want people to know that, hey, Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation is here. We will help anybody in need.
She certainly may.
We will help anybody in need.
Help some, but Henyard's charity has failed to file required financial statements showing income and expenses. WGN Investigates obtained this letter from December in which the Illinois Attorney General threatened civil penalties are imposed against persons who do not register with this office as required.
But there's no foundation in the state of Illinois moving like we moving and shaking, moving like we doing. Right?
That's right. Henyard mixes her two taxpayer-funded jobs and charity work.
Anybody else after that, lady? That's it.
That's Keith Freeman sitting next to her at a Dalton meeting where he's the village administrator. Freeman is also an advisor to Thornton Township, and he's the guy listed as the registered agent of Tiffany Henyard's foundation.
I think it's just about
the people that are literally on her team in her government positions are literally the people who are the registered agents for her foundation that she's saying she has nothing to do with. So bare minimum, again, that's a Kareem Akbar situation where bare minimum is going to fall on him if it in the event that she could craftily convince, which she can't. But in the event that she could convince somebody that is not her charity, you put it in the name. It's in the name of your right hand man. Like, like seriously.
Freeman is also an advisor to Thornton Township, and he's the guy listed as the Freeman sitting and charity work.
Anybody else after that, lady? That's it.
That's Keith Freeman sitting next to her at a Dalton meeting where he's the village administrator. Freeman is also an advisor to Thornton Township, and he's the guy listed as the registered agent of Tiffany Henyard's foundation.
I think it's just about personal gain and trying to use it as more of a publicity type thing.
Chris Gonzalez is the last surviving critic of Henyard on the Thornton Township board. He and other critics is
trying to use it as more of a publicity type thing.
That right there, that's the guy that she didn't let into the secret meeting, the 4-minute meeting that they had upstairs, but told everybody was downstairs. Like this chick, she got the FBI investigating her and everything.
Chris Gonzalez is the last surviving critic of Henyard on the Thornton Township board. He and other critics say public money has been used to fund Henyard's private charity. They say board members were asked to approve a $10,000 payment to the foundation in 2022. Days before a much publicized cancer walk from Dalton to Springfield. Thornton Township credit card records show taxpayers then footed the bill for more than $10,000 in hotel rooms along the route.
I saw the video.
Let me back that up.
Critics say the last surviving critic of Henyard on the Thornton Township board. He and other critics say public money has been used to fund Henyard's private charity. They say board members were asked to approve a $10,000 payment to the foundation in 2022. Days before a much publicized cancer walk from Dalton to Springfield. Thornton Township credit card records show taxpayers then footed the bill for more than $10,000 in hotel rooms along the route.
All right. So she's using taxpayer money to fund the things that the organization needs to do, and then the organization lobbies for and raises money that she don't have to report, and nobody knows what she's doing with that money. So she's using taxpayer dollars to fund her organization that's technically not hers to raise money that she's not going to report on. It's like if you really start like that, it's really high level corruption going on. High level corruption.
Township vehicles being used, township employees being used. Once again, were they paid? Were they given comp time or things of that nature? So there's just, unfortunately, there's a long list. Hotel use, meals.
But I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down.
Henyard sometimes shouts down or shuts down questions about expenses while presiding over public meetings, as we learned in November. That's when expenses.
I wish they would have showed that, because she be going off in these meetings. I wish they would have let that play a little longer. But you can hear her a little bit.
But I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down.
Henyard sometimes shouts.
Like again, I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down. It's like, It's just wild. It's wild. They get in high positions of power and still be acting and talking like just ratchet chick at the club.
Outs down or shut
with the same with the same hair. They get in high positions of power and being there talking with their hands and their neck like a ratchet chick at the club. Got the same goddamn style. She go to the same beautician as them. Might as well.
outs down or shuts down questions about expenses while Henyard sometimes shouts.
How much you want to bet taxpayers paid for that? I don't know if that's I don't know the rules. That a sew in, quick weave. I don't know what that is. Whatever that is, I'm betting taxpayer lace front with a. I'm betting taxpayer dollars paid for that bad boy.
Outs down or
oh wait, shoot, they did actually. Somebody did report on that the cities or towns budget pays for her hair and makeup and all of that. Somebody basically her anything she do to beautify herself. Yeah, the taxpayer pays for it. That's actually true.
Shuts down questions about expenses while presiding over public meetings, as we learned in November. That's when we reported Thornton Township taxpayers spent thousands of dollars on a trip to Las Vegas, where a shopping center conference was underway. Henyard and her allies spent thousands on everything from steak dinners to hotels and what appeared to be first-class airfare.
I do not handle.
I already played this part, but it's a classic, so let's go ahead and listen to it again. I got to make the screen bigger for this classic. Hold on.
Dinners to hotels and what appeared to be first-class airfare.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is
no, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
I'm trying to pause it on that look
Go
away.
to Las Vegas?
Oh man, she's looking like a guilty 8-year-old. Oh man.
What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Actually, we have a lot more questions, but neither Tiffany Henyard nor her advisor, Keith Freeman, responded to our request for comment. And the two governments they control have stopped releasing financial records requested by us under the Freedom of Information Act. The Illinois Attorney General plans to make another demand for information from Henyard.
All right, let's back out of there. Let's back on up out of there real quick. Shout out to, where is that though? Shout out to Theo. Theo in the building. What's going on? He says, Illinois corrupt. What? Illinois corruption. What's next? She cares about black men. BLM. Yeah. That like. Yeah. But shout out to Theo in the building, dropping 20 on it. Do appreciate you. What did I just receive? Hold on. Okay, yep. That's what we about to do. I was looking for this. But no, she lying through her teeth about that. She lying through her teeth about the damn this foundation. But no, here go a clip of how she really be clowning at the meetings. This is what I was looking for. Shout out to RM finding that one for me. But here's the clip. This is how she be clowning. Be showing out at the meetings.
WGN Investigates has an update on safety, public meeting.
If y'all ain't learned, y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing. that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dalton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dalton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. Many of the flights were first class. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style, but she appeared to refer to our reporting at Monday's Dalton meeting.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people, showing them that they matter to us. We going through the fires for y'all.
Henyard calls her critics grandstanders who should get in line.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse.
I ain't see that one. She's pulling out the black card like, I am black, y'all are black, leave me alone, goddammit. Black power. It's like, that's what she's on. That's what she's on. It's like, no, the race card don't just get used against white people. It gets used against other black people who aren't looking away when your black ass is doing stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. That's when the race card really get used. She's basically saying, look, we black, look the other way. Woo. That's some pro-blackity blackness right there. Yeah, that is.
That's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
A black woman in power. That's what she said. I am black. Y'all, I'm a black woman. Y'all are black. I'm a black woman in power. Get in line.
Yourself, y'all black.
Grandstanders who should get in line.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse.
Now, you got to keep it a buck. Like, she's saying that, and people will criticize that. But if you listen to pro-blacks, that's the argument that they will make. They will ultimately make that argument that, okay, yeah, she ain't perfect. She doing some stuff wrong, but we don't need to be publicly criticizing her. They gonna do that enough. The white man gonna do that enough to her. We shouldn't do it. We should. I guarantee, go to a pro-black channel that's talking about this. They're running that same type of interference for Fannie Wilson, and they will run this same type of interference for her. Like, so what she said, even though I'm not going to say she's pro-black or nothing like that, she's weaponizing the pro-black mindset. That's what she's doing. That's literally what that was. So it's like, tactically, that she didn't do nothing that out of pocket from what they do. When I reluctantly called out, because I didn't even want to do it, because I didn't put it in the title. I wanted to let it breathe. I don't know why I was giving a pass, but that Tariq Nasheed Hidden History Museum that he turned into a nightclub, but he used the front of the Hidden History Museum to get black people to donate him $1 million as the seed money for something that he just turned into an event spot where he doing comedy clubs and events and nightclubs. They in there drinking. He trying to get a liquor license. It's popping up in there. Even you go to the website, you don't see nothing about. You don't see that. You don't even see that much about history. And you go to the website. It's Black History Month. You don't see nothing featured or no events, no exhibits, no this, no that. He used the words, the language of pro-blackness to get people to fund a truly, independent Black history museum, and just flipped it into a club. They wouldn't have donated $1 million for him to have a night spot in California. Like that's truthfully what happened right there. Knows the way around it. That's what the hell happened right there. So I like J Speed. I know J Speed's my guy, but when J Speed was up here, he was making the same argument that it should be left alone. Let him work. Let him do what he do. Everything got to start off somewhere. He going to build it and reform it, or he going to make that money, and he going to do just let the Black man do what the Black man got to do. He doing what he got to do. That's the argument. Like, that is consistently the argument. When Black people pulling something off, let them pull it off. Let them do it. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, Black person. You got to let them cook. Let them cook. Like, that's what it is. Even if it's wrong, even if it's a little scammy, even if it's manipulative, even if it's screwing over Black people, even if it's taken from Black people, don't stop a Black person moving up. Even if that Black person is doing things to take from other Black people in the process. These Black people cannot be seen saying anything critical about other Black people who are doing whatever they got to do, however they got to do to get whatever kind of progress they got to get, even if it's a scam, even if it's corruption. Don't say nothing. Theo off in the building with the $25. I said your last one was 20, but it was actually 25. So Theo in the building with $25 super chat. He says she's in power. Nah, she's in trouble. Yeah, the feds investigating. The feds are investigating. They own her. They are on her. I'm seeing a total of 55 from Theo. Did I miss something? Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, my math ain't mathing, but all right. I don't know if that's 55 or 45. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Shout out to Theo. Shout out to Theo. I feel like I missed it. If I missed something, if I missed the super chat, put it on the screen if I missed something. Illinois corruption. What's next? Okay, I saw that one. Okay, I think I got it all. Oh, yeah, it's 45. 45 from Theo. 45 from Theo. Okay, cool. Thought I missed it. Thought I missed something. But all right, cool. We got it. We in here. But all right, let's go. Let's roll. Let's see if she's. I haven't even seen this video. Let's see if she snap a little more. Just so she be popping off at them meetings.
That's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of beating and attacking on a Black woman. That's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks. Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed and Henyard's opponents pointing out.
Now, getting on her about the corruption and what's happening with the money, if what they say, water main leaks, if that's happening, yes, that's why you got to hold the Black person that's in power accountable. If they spending the damn tax dollars on trips to Vegas and trips to New York and all of this, and they can see that and stuff not getting paid for in the city, yes, they have to say something. Now, if she was doing a little, stuff on the side, but everything was running functionally, then, you probably can look away a little bit. But if the city just falling apart, then yeah, with the money.
In power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dalton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks. Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed and Henyard's opponents pointing out her sizable security detail.
It's unfortunate.
Okay, that part I don't know if that part is fair. If people get shot, you're married, ain't like you can't dive in front of the bullets. But they saying that her over-the-top large security detail, that she's using the police as her large security detail, and has taken resources away from the people that's supposed to be governing or presiding over, protecting and serving the people out there. But people getting shot is people getting shot. The police are never there when the shooting takes place. So that part I'm not going to criticize her for. But if water mains are breaking and it's money to fix it, but they not spending the money to fix it because she running up the bill in Vegas and pretending like she wasn't in Vegas, but it's like, yeah. Yeah. If she's spending taxpayer dollars on nonsense and water mains are breaking, yeah, you can call that out.
That politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe.
Uh-oh. She made the point right there. You know, I'm not going to blame her for a shootout, but that is the point, though. That is the point. If you're walking around using the police as your own personal top flight security, that's an issue. That's a lot of funds allocated just for you.
Residents are taking notice. Some spoke for and others against the mayor.
But, you know, we got the mayor here, I mean, meeting with the president of the United States. Everyone's seen the picture. I mean, that's a big deal. That is great promotion for this.
Is that even real? Shout out to Theo. I'm going to pull that one back up in a second. Is that even real? Her down? Okay, she turning just like a. Why everybody else in the room know how to act and know you ain't supposed to be out there seeing the president, but turning around doing everybody knows when you listening to the president speak, you don't be up in there turned around doing that shit. Everybody know you don't do that kind of selfie with the president. Everybody know you don't do that kind of thing when you go see the damn when you go see the president. Everybody else in the frame know how to act. And look at her.
United States, everyone's seen the picture. I mean, that's a big deal. That is great promotion for this city, for this town.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man.
That is great promotion for this city, for this town.
Act like you've been somewhere before. I mean, if you're just a citizen, yeah, you could do that. When you're a government official, you gotta act like you've been there before. Just a little perspective on this, her being a mayor and the way she act, the way she think, the way she operate. Like, Sarah Palin was just a mayor when John McCain, selected her to be his vice president. Like, theoretically speaking, just you could be vice president with her credentials. just wanted to throw that out there, just as a make you say thought experiment. Just wanted to throw that out there. You could be vice president with her credentials. All right, where's that super Jaguar from Theo? Shout out to Theo. He says, now you have 55 from Theo. See why I'm a passport, bro? Absolutely. He says, I'm supposed to date women like her? Oh, hell no. It's crazy.
What do we
it's
get
crazy.
for $10? Everything you want.
It's crazy for this reason, and this sort of happening like with me, getting older. I'm 41, turn 42, turn 42 coming up in a few months. I remember when I was 35. And keep in mind, she's 37. I remember when I was 35 and I was voting and I saw a name on the ballot. I was around 35. I was voting, I saw a name on the ballot, and it was of a girl I messed with before. And I was like, what the hell? She wasn't running for a major position, but she was running for something. She was running for something locally. And I was like, damn, I'm not in a place in my life where I'm having sex with people that's running for political positions. But I'm like, oh shit, well, yeah, I am almost 40. But it's crazy. And she was running for that. Oh, damn. I hooked up with her on some kind of ratchet stuff. But that was so it's like, yeah, these chicks just be regular chicks that, be regular hood chicks that do regular hood stuff. And I don't know how they find their way in office. They find their way in office. Be full blown, got a pookie past. Baby mamas with pookie past and all kind of stuff. It's like, damn. It's like it's wild. It's wild, but they get in that position and they still be on it. They still be on it. Shout out to Theo. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you supporting the stream. Up and now RM. Now you got to change that one again because he just made it 55. Shout out to Kara K. Wilson in the building. Kara K. Wilson says, Dothan, Illinois police killed my 19-year-old daughter. I am really sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that. Tiffany criminalized and lied on her. Wow. Called her a car. We protested at her house. She got security details and began to cancel meetings to avoid. Oh, wow. I think you mean to avoid our family. Wow. It looked like you left off a word when you said, okay, Tiffany criminalized and lied on her, called her a car. I think you left off a word. Let it be put it in the chat room, whatever, if you left something off of there, because this is an important super chat that I want I want to make sure it's read without typos in it. I mean, without a mistake in it. But man, we protested her house, so I guess that's why she needed security detail. I guess when she was talking about when she got them death threats, maybe it probably was from your family. I mean, yeah. If that was y'all, I'm not saying y'all should have did it, but I understand. But damn, that's deep. She got security detail because she did some corrupt stuff, and then she got to beef up the security. That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear about your daughter. Say her name, Alexis Wilson. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. Oh man, that was deep. That was deeper than what I can even handle or give commentary on. I wish y'all the best thoughts and prayers with you. Like, man. Yeah. I just, man, sorry to hear that. Mike and Vince Perkins in the building says one time for Tiffany Brown. I think I said that right. I think I put those two names together correctly. One time. Tiffany Brown. What else we got in here? Oh no, that's that's the one I read. Say her name, Alexis Wilson. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's messed up. Sorry about that. I'm up here clowning and cracking jokes about her, but I see this is this one is personal for you. So yeah, that's bad. KP from KC5 in the building says she got 3 Duttermans on staff. Yeah. But her Duttermans. Her Duttermans work for the damn police paid by the government. It's like, that's a whole different game right there. Goddamn Keisha, rockabye baby, done got in charge and running the damn. Keisha from New Jack City done got in charge and running the damn CMB. That's what the hell going on here. That's what the hell is going on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, be civil. Do things right. Think of the residents. You are here to represent the residents and not yourself.
Henyard and her publicity team no longer respond to our emails seeking an explanation of her spending. As we've reported, she is also the face of a cancer.
She got a publicity team. She need Olivia Pope to somebody to. She need Pope and Associates on her. So all this stuff she got going, all this corruption she got going on. Yes, sorry guys, I did watch a couple seasons of Scandal. Okay, I'm lying. I watched it. I watched the show. I did. I'm sorry. It was a good show, but it was. I'm not even going to explain the annoying parts. The parts other than that part was. I realized halfway through it that I was like, okay, I'm watching the damn Swirl Olympics. I found out later that the black women be meeting up in groups online watching it. It was like a really good White House Law and Order type show, but then it was like, yeah, it became like the Divestors National Anthem after a while, and that's, you know, that kind of got weird and it kind of ruined it. But it was you know, what's the chick that make that show? I forgot her name. She did How to Get Away with Murder and Grey's Anatomy. What's her name? What's the chick that make that show? Y'all know her name. Say her name, goddammit. Somebody in the chat room. I can't move forward. Shonda Rhimes. I already put it in the private chat. Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes is actually good. All right. She's a damn good writer or got a damn good writing team. Those shows be really good. Grey's Anatomy. It'd be some, yeah, I didn't watch that consistently, but some of those episodes, I remember I watched one episode where it was like it was an accident or something, and the ambulance was bringing 2 kids back, and I think one of them, it was 2 moms waiting for the kids to get to come, you know, get off the ambulance. It was kind of out there that one of the kids was dead and one of them was alive, and they sitting right there next to each other crying. And then one of them saw that, you know, it was her kid that was the one that was alive, and she got happy and start celebrating, but the other one just was breaking down crying. I was like, oh, that bitch. You were supposed to hold back your joy. You weren't supposed to celebrate in front of the other mom that you were just crying on the shoulder of. Yeah, it'd be some good writing on those shows, but it'd be so woke and so many little agenda and messages. It'd be some messed up messaging in there that just make you not want to watch it. But it'd be legitimately some good writing going on in those shows. But Mike and Vince Perkins in the building says, I'm sure she has had an offender on her payroll. Oh yeah. But when you got the actual cops, when you can use the rule that states that a mayor can have security, and you could flip that and make it to where the actual police officers is your actual security. When you can do that, you don't need hood niggas on payroll. You got the police. You good. That's low level. That's low level stuff when you got hood niggas on your budget. She got the actual police on her budget. Omega Dread says she got both. I don't think she need both. I mean, you can do a little something, allocate a little bit of taxpayer funds to make sure the hood got your back if you need them. But I mean, she got the police. But all right. Oh, did I read it? I read you wrong. Did I read you wrong? Hold on, let me put that back up. Let me pull that up. Hold on, what it said? Drop the link for Kyra. She want the link? Oh yeah, if she want the link, she can come up. I put the link in the chat. I don't know if she want the link or you just suggested that we do it. He said, I'm sure she has had an offender on her payroll. Oh, okay. That's why you say meant pedo. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, if Kyra K. Wilson want the link to talk, you know, about a close to home situation she got there. Close to home situation she got there with Tiffany. I'm gonna calling her City Girl Mayor so much I just about forgot her name. But all right. But while we wait for that, if she's coming up, let me pull up another part of the interview, because I haven't even technically got to this part of it. Is arguably the most corrupt thing that she's done. Let me get to this. One second. Hold up. No, I can't find it, of course. Here we go. All right.
she say thing. Well, I don't like you because of this, or I don't understand this. It was more of that than basically taking care of the business of the town. We got elected to serve. That's it. We didn't get elected to make sure we like one another. And that's why I get upset with people that are in government. I want them to put their difference to the side and do what's right for the people. That's it. That's why I'm in this seat, because I care about my town. I won by 82% because people know and they saw me doing the work.
So when you, so let's talk about, because I've read different stories and I'm trying to understand what they mean. So let's talk about a meeting. Your critics say you came dressed up as Nino Brown playing Bitch Better Have My Money. Did that happen?
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me clear that up so we can understand.
All right, we're gonna play that part. This ain't the part I was talking about. But Freeman's Journal, if you sent an email, hopefully you sent it to bernardriley99@gmail.com, Freeman's Journal, because that's the only one that I use now. I see we got to start putting my email through the chat room. There's so many people that got my old email. So yeah, so if you sent me, I'm looking for whatever you sent me. I don't have it. I do not have it. But we are joined right now by Kara Wilson. She's coming up. Welcome to the show. This was unexpected, and like I said before, sorry about the loss of your daughter. I'm really bad with talking to people who have lost someone, so forgive me.
No, that's fine.
If I'm awkward in this, because I do really bad talking to people about that. But you got a close, intimate understanding of Tiffany. I keep messing up her name because I call her City Girl Mayor so much. But yes. So Tiffany Henyard, I almost botched her name. You got a close, intimate understanding. So I'll pass to you and let you pick it up. Just say whatever's on your mind. Go ahead.
Well, I think my story began on July 27th of 21. My 19-year-old daughter was killed by Dalton police. That morning started with the police at my door telling me that she had been killed in a shooting and a car accident. And I asked what happened to her. Was she killed by a car? Was she shot? Did she crash into someone and they shoot her? Did she get shot by someone and then crash? And they told me they had no information for me, that we needed to contact a particular detective. My ex-husband and I began making those phone calls, and they literally were putting us on hold, not coming to the phone. They were hanging up on us. And then we started hearing this news coming out of Dalton on the news. And that's where we found out that our daughter had been killed by police. At that moment, Tiffany and her publicist released statements. Statement went something like, from Tiffany, "My cops did the right thing. They took a criminal off the streets of Dalton tonight, and they've probably prevented other crimes from being committed." And like, this is me hearing my child is dead, and this woman is coming on saying that she deserved what she got. Okay, so
Well,
we
hold
go
on,
to the
really
police
quick.
station.
Hold on, let me ask you this: how long in between? Because it sounded like it was a period of time when you knew something happened, or you knew that she was shot, but you didn't know that it was by the police. How long was that period of time where you were in the dark about whether or not the police did it or not?
It was a few hours, and I say
Okay.
a few hours because the stories were coming out on the news, but the story that they were telling, I didn't recognize. It was not my child they were talking about. They came out with their narrative saying that she drugged cops, that she aimed her car at cops, she weaponized the vehicle. When we saw the video, that man was punching my daughter within 3 seconds of his arrival. Or no, within 52 seconds, I'm sorry, 52 seconds of their initial arrival. He was punching my daughter in her face. She tried to run. A cop jumped in the car, put 2 bullets in my daughter's head and 5 down her side. My daughter was an organ donor, and they didn't leave any organs to donate. Okay, so the story that we're hearing, I'm not recognizing this as my child, right? I'm not recognizing what they're saying as being my kid, any characteristics of my child. Finally, someone calls and they tell me that it's my car they're pulling out of the bike shop. Okay, so now I know that it was my daughter. But the police are still not answering questions. They've had my car signed over into evidence. They're not answering our calls. We literally had to physically get up and go to the police station. But at that point in time, like I said, after the statements were released, we started protesting, and we did several protests. But my son was able to find a picture of Tiffany's mugshot online. So we protested in front of her house with her mugshot after she called my daughter a criminal. My daughter's a 19-year-old high school grad, starting her own business, former cheerleader at HF High School. Alexis was an awesome kid. So we wanted her to retract her statement. She tried to write a letter like to apologize under closed doors. Even Andrew Holmes, her best trustee, came to my door behind her back to give his condolences, but she wouldn't. So when she did try to issue a statement, I told her, no, you need to call back the media, just like you did when you called my daughter a criminal and said she deserved what she got. So that just never happened. She really mishandled how she represented, and she talks about, protecting Black girls and Black women. But the first thing you did, without even looking at the video that you had available to you, was criminalize my Black daughter.
Okay, in the video, and I'm apologies, I know this might be hard to talk about, but like in the video where where did the video start? Did the video start with the police just walking up to her? Like they said that she was driving the police car. I mean, driving the car around, or drove it at the police. Like there was nothing in there. Basically, was she stopped like she was pulled over? Or okay, there you go. It's like you just keep fading in and out. Can you hear me?
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, so the video actually starts with her just sitting in the car. Like, was she pulled over?
She was in the drive-through. She had gone to a restaurant in Dalton, and she had called her order in. Well, she had DoorDashed her order, but they gave her so much money off to pick it up. So she went to pick up her order, which she had already paid for. They did not have the order that she wanted, and so she drove around the building to return the order, and they wouldn't give her a refund. And basically, like, either you take that or you take nothing. So Alexis did. I have a business, so I had a flagpole, like those wavy flagpoles outside the businesses. There was a pole sitting next to the car that supports those, or next to her seat. So she picks that up and she's knocking on the window with it. They called in, said she had a gun, but you could clearly see it wasn't. They were watching the cameras in the back, because we were let in at a later time to watch the cameras so we could see what the employees were doing during this time. So they were watching her in the back. They were watching her on camera. So they call in and they say, they called in a woman with a gun, mad woman with a gun, right? So police pull up, guns drawn. If you watch the video, her hands go up. She's there arguing, going back and forth, like, why do I got to get out? What did I do? No one took the time to say what they were there for. They just yelled, screamed, and the guy gets out. She's still asking, what do I get to get out? Why do I have to get out? I'm not dressed, but I'm not dressed, and there was a woman cop on the scene. So if that were the case and Alexis was not properly dressed, there was a woman there that could have addressed that, but that officer didn't call her over. This officer that started punching my daughter has killed 3 or more people already in the village of
Mm.
Dalton. He has lawsuits against him right now. Dalton just lost $33.5 million because of that man and Chief Lacey now, right? They didn't stop a police chase, and they ended up killing and hurting 2 passengers. So they just got sued for $33.5 million for that case. He's killed a
Did
man in the
she?
hospital.
Mm.
He's shot a man in his back in front of a gas station, I believe. But you got to do your homework on him. He's killed a few people, and Henyard tried to promote him.
Mm.
So you have a non-black person going around a black town killing black people, and he gets a promotion. He
Mm.
shot someone again 1 year after he killed my daughter.
Mm.
So my problem is that the administration has lied about the entire thing. They've lied on my daughter since it began. And at this point, like, you killed her and you criminalize her.
Mm.
Like, and the mainstream media, of course, went along with the narrative that the police put out.
Mm. Did your daughter ever even get out of the car, or
She
like?
never got out of the car. Now watch the video for yourself.
Yeah, I'll
This
watch it.
man,
Somebody, wait, hold on, really quick. Well, we will obviously we're not going to play it on here, but somebody do send it to me or put it in the RM. If you can get it, put it in my
now
private chat.
they're edited versions of the video though, because
Okay.
the police did edit the version. I literally saw them hand out flash sticks to the media, so they edited and then they put it out. But it doesn't change what happens. But you see this gentleman, when he puts his gun away, he literally holsters his gun, draws his right foot back and his right arm back. He holsters his gun and then takes his position to hit her. The report from the Illinois State Police says, well, we can't tell if he hit her or not. But I can see it. You can see it. She didn't aim her vehicle. She tried to get away. As a matter of fact, she tries to avoid hitting the cars in front of her, but they're parked. You know how police park in front of you to keep you from moving. So they're parked like that in front of the vehicle, but you can see her try to take a left, or you can see her try to go around, but there is no around. So she ends up going through them. But at no time was she trying to hurt anyone. She was trying to avoid being hurt.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely is. But that's the story. And when you see the chief of police say, well, she needed security after this 19-year-old is killed. It was Alexis that was killed. That's why she started. But my family never threatened her. Sir, I have several degrees and several businesses. My family is not, my kids are college graduates. We're not threatening this lady.
So it was basically more so just the people after that situation. They were more or less coming for her because they felt like she didn't handle it correctly, or she was dishonest.
Exactly.
So that's where she.
And even on that
that's the
day,
origin
we
of
had
that's the
20
origin.
officers outside of peaceful protests. 20 officers. Next time we protested, she had officers or had protesters arrested. So she started this mess hiding from our family and hiding from taking accountability, not because there were any threats to her, but because she didn't want to face us. And every time we showed up anywhere she was, she ran. She literally would leave out the back door. There have been other residents that questioned her handling of Alexis's death, and they were escorted out by police of the meetings. So if you brought up my daughter's name to her, you would get escorted out of that meeting.
And
so her security detail has nothing to do with actual threats. It's more of her hiding from people that want her to have accountability.
Yeah. Wow. And so the officer in question, he still works for there.
She
He's still in
promoted
the
him, but
city.
I think he left on his own.
Mm.
But they just had some type of ceremony not that long ago, I believe, when she was dressed like Nino Brown. She gave him a promotion to detective. But I from my understanding, and I'm not sure, you'd have to check with some of the people that are really more in tune. But I believe he left on his own.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. That is an amazing story. That's an amazing story. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. I didn't expect this, and like I said, I'm really bad with talking to people that's experiencing death because
That's fine.
I never know the right thing to say because death is terrible and it's no.
There's nothing to be said.
I don't. Yeah. I'm not one of those find the silver lining people. No, it's messed up. I have
It
nothing.
is.
I have nothing good to say. But so
It is,
so
and she was a beautiful girl.
yeah. So anything else you want to leave us with, whether it's something about your personal situation or just anything about the city girl mayor, as they call her around the internet, that you just want to anything you want to say or leave us with?
I just can't wait to see her get a shiny pair of silver bracelets. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But my point and coming in the comments and things when you guys are talking about is just to get this truth told, because for now and right now the mainstream media still paints my daughter as this person that deserved what she got, but it's like they're not even watching the video. They still claim she drugged cops, but there's no cops being drugged. They're still saying she weaponized her vehicle, but you can clearly see that child was scared and running. The first officer knocked her glasses off her face, so she didn't even see that officer that was sitting in the passenger side. He jumped in the passenger side, and as she turns the corner, she starts screaming, and he just starts shooting. He could have made a myriad of choices at that point in time. Shoot the engine, hell, push the button on the push button start. I mean, just there could have been so many other choices, but he said no words. He didn't tell her to pull over. He didn't say stop the car. He just opened fire. And 2 in her head means that you meant to do this. That was an execution. So City Girl Mayor should have fact checked. She should have checked her facts before she came on talking about somebody else's child. No condolences. No, I'm sorry someone lost their life. You just went straight to jabbing at my child. She didn't deserve it. Alexis did not deserve to be done that way, and she didn't deserve to be criminalized in that manner.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, this is my first time ever doing content on Tiffany Henyard, and I'm going to keep doing content on her, hopefully until she hopefully until they give her those silver bracelets you mentioned.
There's a lot
it's people. Yeah, it's people out there that got like 30 different videos on her. I'm late to the party talking about her, so yeah, no, I'll definitely keep it going. And she's done enough corrupt stuff aside from what you just explained with your daughter. She's done enough corrupt stuff
the thing
to where
that they're not talking about is what happened with my daughter that I need them to start talking about.
Yeah, she's done enough to get herself locked up. So all right, thank you for coming up. Thank you for telling your story. And
no problem.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, absolutely. All right, that was unexpected. That was unexpected. I appreciate her coming up and doing that. I appreciate her coming up and doing that. That gave some context to one thing that she was saying, how she more or less had to have security detail because people threatening her life and everything or whatever, and that gave some context to it. She had to have security after that situation where somebody who unjustly shot by a police officer, and she backed the police officer, and then the people protested, and now she got security, and now the police officers who's already in a situation where she's not paying the bills for the police cruisers. They about to lose the police cars because she's not paying the bills for it, and they're understaffed because she got 6 of them walking around with her like henchmen. It's like, so yeah, that added some layers to the story. But all right. All right, where are we at? I'm about to get through. It's one more thing that I wanted to get through here. One more thing that I want to get through here. So let's I'm about to go ahead and roll. Hold on.
I did not come.
Enroll some more of this, because what I was about to play was the most corrupt prior to this, prior to prior to what we just talked about, prior to the surprise guest we just had. This when I was about to play something that I thought was one of the most corrupt things. But yeah, so let's roll it. Let's get into it. And wrap
Come
this
as
up.
Nino Brown. I did make sure.
I'll skip that part.
Because that's all it
The
was.
Nino Brown part. I'll skip that.
Are you looking at making adjustments in terms of how you operate, how you govern, because they're criticizing that. They're criticizing you putting up billboards. I mean, literally, they're criticizing attire, you name it.
Yeah. So it's sad to see that because you would think somebody will reach out and say, hey, Mayor, I want to work with you. Let's sit down and talk and go over things that I think you should improve or change. A lot of people just upset because I am a trendsetter. I am a trailblazer. I am showing people what they should have done with the seats, with an S, before I took over. And as you know, I want to do the work. So I ask the lawyers what I can and what I cannot do. And when they tell me what I can do, I go and I execute. There's nothing wrong with
you don't get reelected, but the salary stays the same.
Okay, this is the last part that I wanted to talk about here, because this part was ridiculous and didn't make no sense. So let's get into this.
All judging, meaning people out there are judging off of hearsay, false allegations, and not facts. Get facts first, and then
false allegations. Okay.
Make your judgment.
Take me through what took place with the change in pay for the Thornton position. Yeah, what your critics say is you led an effort to cut the salary if you don't get reelected, but the salary stays the same if you are reelected.
And see, that's again what I mean by research and what I say the media and everybody doing the smear campaign. It's an ordinance already on the books. They didn't tell you that, right?
No, what's the ordinance?
The ordinance is on the books. My predecessor, he created that ordinance and it's already there. That if he was to run or not run, that the salary drops. It's already there.
Okay, so you're saying prior to you coming there, that was that his decision or was that the Thornton Township trustees' decision?
Well, it's them as a group because they have to vote on it. It's
right.
Ordinance form. So yes, it was everybody's decision.
So you're saying that.
So right there, she's talking about what she's saying was already in place is that yes, if somebody is in a position longer, they're going to make more money. If somebody just starts the position, they're going to make less money. Sort of like any job. If you get a job, you start out making $50,000, and then okay, let's just say you get extra $2,000 each year that you work the job. Like that's normal. But if somebody else get that job fresh, new, and clean, they'll probably start out at the $50,000. That's all that is that she just explained. That has nothing to do with the thing that she actually did that was pretty much as corrupt as it gets.
Predated you.
Yes, and it's there. I have the proof for it. Yes.
Okay, so the salary is currently what?
For myself, $224.
So when there's the next election, then if the current supervisor is not reelected, then it drops to what?
25.
Do you know what the rationale was for that?
Well, it was like I just stated, it was already on the books.
He asked what was the rationale for it, and she's saying, well, like I just stated, it was already on the books. What he's trying to get her to explain that he's not going to hold her feet to the fire on is how, if you don't get elected, the next person coming in, their salary, she made it a rule, made it to where the salary, this was all 100% her doing. She was doing a smokescreen interference talking about some rule that somebody else put in place. But all 100% her doing, she makes it to where the salary for the next person, who the new person who gets the job, their salary is at $25,000 a year. She made it to where their starting salary is so low that to make it to where nobody else will even run to try to oppose her. That is some dictator-in-chief type stuff right there to make sure she stays in office forever. I'm gonna make it to where you make below minimum wage. If you try to take my job, you're gonna make minimum wage when you start. Come take it if you want to. If you want to make minimum, it's like that's as corrupt as it gets.
but no one did the research. They went and did this whole story of, hey, Tiffany did XYZ. Now, don't get me wrong. We did cut the prior salary was 50K.
So, sorry, cut what?
50,000. The ordinance that I'm talking about.
Right.
It was $50,000 that they created. Now we cut it in half. We did do that because everybody said we make too much money. So we did do that.
Okay, but what it was, so it was cut from what, 224 to 50?
No.
What that's what I'm trying to say. What was 50?
The ordinance that they created.
Okay.
Meaning the previous person before me. That's what they created before me. So it was $50,000. So no matter what or who ran against that person, it was already dropping to those numbers.
It was dropping from
whatever their salary was, which is the 224
to
$50,000.
Okay, and then when you came in,
I dropped it to $25,000. All I did was cut.
Okay, so somebody else dropped it to starting out at $50,000. Now I don't know how she finessed 225 out of the deal. She's saying somebody else put it to 50,000. She went and made it even lower and put it at 25,000. Her rationale in doing that is she's saying that they were complaining about people making too much. So the only people complaining about a lot of spending, and you're not pulling the trigger to fix that problem. You're not pulling any triggers financially to make sure that other I's are dotted and T's are crossed. But people complain about, the government officials, the elected officials making too much. You're going to decrease the salary of the person who's going to seek to replace you in the future. Like that doesn't make any sense. That's saying you're going to finally use your power to move to make a budget cut when it's a budget cut that will keep you in office longer than an African dictator. Now, y'all remember earlier in the video, let me remember the timestamp where I'm at now. I'm at 1920 something. Y'all remember this part?
25-0. So how is it possibly the mayor? People got to pause and think like, dang, she keep winning. If she keep winning, we got no bills.
are not paying bills.
Correct.
In addition, by them constantly suing you, they're now piling up legal bills. Correct. And that's what's also contributing to the deficit of this.
That's
kind
correct.
of find this other part. Hold on. She was talking about salaries for everybody.
And then we also had contracts that was needed to be.
Okay, here we go. I'm here already. Good.
Suing you, they're now piling up legal bills. Correct. And that is what's also contributing to the deficit of the.
That's correct. And then we also had contracts that was needed to be negotiated when I came in office for police, for fire, and for public works. So once we negotiate some of those contracts, of course, that adds to the deficit because now you got to increase people pay. And we've done that. You got retro pay, you got all kinds of things.
Okay, so she's talking about when she got in there and they had to negotiate people's contract and that and happened to give people raises, and that adds to the pay. You see how she's talking about how when she got in, the people that was in with her, that was tight with her, that, that kissed the ring, she basically saying, oh, I had to give them a raise. That's what's increasing the budget. But y'all saying they complaining that y'all make too much. Okay, you're not lowering those people's salary. Those people you're giving a raise. So you didn't have no problem with giving a raise to certain people, but the person who would be your replacement or who would run to be your replacement, you're quick to reduce their salary to try to discourage them from even running against you. But on the other hand, everybody else that, you got to make sure everybody else is getting their raise. So it's like, no. If you care about people complaining about people, the elected officials making too much, then you wouldn't be giving all those other people raises, which shows the rationale, the malice of forethought in the rationale as to why you would give a reduction in pay to anybody who takes your job. It's to discourage them from trying to take it. It's like stuff like that. That is as corrupt as it gets. That is as corrupt as it gets.
So no matter what or who ran against that person, it was already dropping to those numbers.
It was dropping from
whatever their salary was, which is the 224
to
$50,000.
Okay, and then when you came in,
I dropped it to $25,000. All I did was cut the 50 to
25
in half.
And why was that?
Because everyone said the salary was too high. So all I did was just reduce it by half. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But do you understand what I'm saying? It's already on the books.
I'm sure they thought everybody else's salary was too high, but you raised other people's salary, but we see whose salary you decreased.
It was never going to stay to something, ever. It was always going to drop down.
And you're saying that predated you?
It does, yes. We have the ordinance. If you like the ordinance, we can give it to you.
What is your relationship with
It sounded like she got in before it was a cap on how much they can make, and then she started putting the cap on it. But again, like many things, she deflected to somebody else. She deflected to Kareem Akbar. That's what she did.
Township trustees? Because again, there are two different entities here.
Correct.
How many trustees are you dealing with the city of Dalton?
6.
6. How many are you dealing with Thornton Township?
4.
Okay. So do you have issues with the Thornton Township?
Actually, I don't. It might be one person that might not want to agree with things there, but everybody else is on board. I have no issue like I do in Dalton.
So
all right, let me get to Sir Tice Super Chat. Sir Tice in the building says, crazy times. We have a county DA talking about G testifying, referencing 1K, then a hood rat as a mayor that's robbing the city blind, but this is the community we're supposed to save. Both elected. Yeah. You know, people make a lot of complaints about the Electoral College. I understand why it exists. I understand why it exists, to save us from ourselves. Because you can't trust the people to elect somebody of the people into office at this point. The people can't be trusted. That's just all it is. That's just all it is right there. But shout out to Sir Tice. Shout out to everybody who supported the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
We've done so much with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything with nothing. Those are the words of Machismo TV. Make sure you go and check it out. Some of the best male-centric content on the internet, all the highlight reels of pretty much everything from everybody. So make sure you go and check it out. Subscribe to Machismo TV. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.